Hi, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Christine Geikman, and I am a career counselor. I love to walk that gray line between helping job seekers to land the perfect job and helping businesses to thrive. Today, we're going to talk very briefly about cybersecurity and its use when you are in job search. I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can see the slides that I have prepared to go alongside my words. All right, so here we are. Expand that screen for you. Cybersecurity in your job search. Please know that you can take control of your own social media. You're not kind of at their will. We are in the referral economy. Opportunities are huge, but it's all based on your reputation. What people say about you when you're not looking, when you're not on those social media accounts. Did you know the average person spends 2 hours and 27 minutes per day on a social media platform? That's a lot, right? That's average, some even more. There are over 133 plus social media platforms today. That number is just going up. It's increasing. So yeah, a lot of competition going on there. But using LinkedIn on a daily basis shows that you are professional, that you network, and you're always giving. On top of that, 87% of recruiters are using LinkedIn to find qualified candidates. So that's probably where you want to be in order to land. Keep in mind, interviewing, just like dating, getting to know each other. Job searching, guess what? We have social media platforms for dating. Tinder, Match.com, OkCupid. That list continues to go on and get bigger and bigger. In addition to finding the perfect mate, you're finding another job. So those things can be considered job matching sites as well. Secondary, but it is possible. Keep that in mind. Why is an employer even checking you out on social media? I don't understand. They're not supposed to do that. Well, they're looking for your relevance. They're looking to see if you know how to use any platform. But most important, they're looking to see that the person matches what they're saying about themselves. Does it match? Are you professional? Can you prove what you've done in the past? Have you badmouthed an employer or fellow employee on a social media application? They're looking for your relevance. Are you showing any criminal behaviors? That might put you into question. So with this, they can do a fast, simple, free background check, just kind of looking you up. They're looking for social proof of you. Does it speak to your brand? Is it consistent? Well, as we said earlier, there's 133 plus social media platforms. I'm not saying you have to be on 133 social media platforms, because where are you going to spend some time with people in real life as opposed to on social media? So you want to pick and choose where you're going to spend your time. But if you are trying to do 2, 3, 4, 15 platforms and be present in real life, you may need the help of a social managing tool. Some of these tools are listed below in blue. Check them out. There's usually a free version and a paid version for each tool. These are just the top ones. There are others, but they're also the most popular that are listed. Thank you to Carl Reed for providing that list to us. These are kind of like dashboards. They let you schedule posts, manage posts, that kind of thing. Maybe you write all of your articles in one day or all of your posts in one day, and you can schedule them to go out different times, different days on different platforms, keeping your brand consistent. Keep that in mind to save yourself some time. The most important slides in this presentation are the next three. Cybersecurity while you're on the net. When you are putting in an address, a URL, into your open tab on any website, please note HTTPS is secure, whereas without the S, it's not secure. And although you can still be hacked, you are less likely to be hacked if there is an S. So including your credit card number or your birth date or your social security number, having an S or not having an S is a big factor. Keep your information private. Don't give away your social security number or your birth date or your gender or race. All of those things can be used to make a profile for you that you probably don't want to use. When you're posting your resume to a job board, remember a job board is on the internet with access for everyone. Somebody could lie and say that they're an employer or a recruiter, and they're not being. They're fishing just for information. If you have your address on your resume, they now know where you live. So I would take that off and put up a new resume without that information on it. That way, you're only including it to jobs that you're applying for. It's not recommended to write your passwords for every single site on a piece of paper. Now, you've probably heard that before. Did you know that you can use the cloud, which is a off-site place to store all of your passwords? By using an application like KeePass, you can remember one password, and then you can get in to see all of your passwords that you've created, because every site requires a username and a password. That is something that's going to help keep you safe. When you're making the password, keep it uppercase and lowercase letters. Don't use something that people will be able to guess or figure out. Your mother's maiden name, your kid's name, your dog's name, your birth date or anniversary, that kind of thing. Use something that means something to you that you won't forget. Maybe your favorite song, the title, uppercase, lowercase, and then add some numbers or special characters to it. Only you would know that, right? Maybe it's your favorite kind of pie or your favorite thing to do in the summer. Uppercase, lowercase, right? Never make passwords that include any personal information, as we said before. Do not use your social security number. Make sure all of your social media accounts are locked down and they're private. Only you can get in there. You don't share your password with anyone. When you're in job search, make sure you have a separate email address for all your job search activities. Don't combine your job search with your personal email or a secondary email. Make an email just for job search and keep it professional. Your first name and your last name, current, maybe you're using Gmail as opposed to AOL or Yahoo. Keep track of where you're applying and what you're applying for. Maybe it's in a log of some kind, Excel spreadsheet, that kind of thing, so that when they do call, you have an easy reference to there. Always research potential scams, fake checks, scam warners, rip-off report, the internet crime complaint. There's all kinds of places. Google and find out those things so that you can do some research. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Mail managers, gift wrappers, making money for not doing too much, probably not going to be a real job. So keep that in mind as you're looking at jobs and opportunities in which to apply for. Please be cautious about paying a recruiter. In this day and age, most, not all, but most recruiters are paid for by the company, not by the job seeker. One that is paid for by the job seeker is called a headhunter. And headhunters typically, again, not always, but they typically work with higher level positions such as senior director, vice president, executive director of nonprofits, C-suites, that kind of thing. If you're not looking for those types of positions, then you probably are looking at recruiters that are paid for by companies. So again, keep yourself safe. Just because it's on the internet does not mean it's true. Just because it's on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or any of the other platforms does not mean it is true. Do your due diligence, protect yourself, and do the research. Google could take you down a rabbit hole, but Google them. Find out some more information and more information after that. Don't just take one article's word for it. When you're looking and you get all this junk email, you're like, oh, I can't take it anymore. Do not opt out. At the very end of an email will be an opt-out screen or a link. When you press opt out, they know that it's a real email address, and your email address is usually sold to other scammers or other hackers or other people that are going to flood your email with more junk. However, a safe unsubscribe is usually okay. So if you have that link at the bottom of an email, you can hit save unsubscribe and not worry about having those consequences. Social engineering vocabulary. It's very important to know that these are all relatively new terms. Why? Because they had to have a term to describe all the stuff that's going on in this world. These things can affect you. And although it could be scary, when you learn what they mean, and then you can learn to be aware of them, it makes you more I don't even know what the word is. You can better defend yourself against these attacks, okay? So fishing and bulk fishing and spear fishing, and it's not fishing off a boat, guys. There's all kinds of terms that they're trying to hack into your world and steal your identity. Link manipulation, website forgery, email spoofing. There's lots of different things that can happen. So you want to be aware so that you can protect yourself. Job searchers are so vulnerable to scams. In many cases, somebody that's in job search just wants to be acknowledged. They want good news. They are happy that somebody wants to hire them, and they move forward kind of oblivious to things that are going around them. Make sure that you are always researching and doing your due diligence to protect yourself. Don't click on any attachments. It could be somebody is trying to put something on your computer, right? Emails, don't put your social security number or any personal information in an email. It's not secure. Verify everything through multiple sources, not just Google. Google is important, but what is their website? Can you find the recruiter? Do other people say stuff about the recruiter? Do they have recommendations on LinkedIn? That kind of thing. Don't assume that it's true or factual. A job posting on any job board might be true, might not be true, right? Don't set up any accounts or send your resume to jobs without verifying it's a true job in a real company. We talked about not entering any personal information to someone contacting you. Do not connect to everyone on LinkedIn. There are some people on LinkedIn that are scammers. There are some accounts that are not factual. Did you know you can connect with Dr. Spock on LinkedIn? Did you know he has a profile there and a picture to boot? LinkedIn is very well aware of these scam artists and these fake LinkedIn profiles. You have to do your best to avoid them. So make sure you're verifying as somebody wants to connect with you. Are they real? Do they have people in their network that are also in your network so that you can do your due diligence and ask, right? If the job is too good to be true, it probably is. If you're wondering if a URL is real, hover your cursor over the URL to see where it actually came from. Is it a real URL or is it fake? It's not going to say fake, but make sure the periods and the underscores and the ats, everything is the way it's supposed to be. Otherwise, it's a scam. Do your research because there are tons of scams out there for job seekers. And I do not want you to fall victim to them. Finally, Google yourself. What is being said about you? Where are you coming up? Do a quick search. Are you on page 1 or 2 or 6 or 14? Where are you coming up? Well, maybe it's time to clean up a little bit of your social media so that you come up a little bit closer. Your death certificate will probably come up somewhere along the line, only because you're not the only person in the world named your name, and that might happen. But a job seeker, they know, recruiter knows, hiring managers, a dead person did not apply for a job or send a resume. So they know it's not you, it's somebody else, okay? If nothing comes up on Google, if you're like, oh, I'm clean, I'm not on any social media, nothing's gonna come up about me, that's actually worse, okay? If you don't come up at all on Google, then you are considered by a recruiter and hiring manager and HR as socially inept. Okay, that's actually worse. They're going to discount you because they can't do research and find out about you and if anything posted matches your brand. So instead of getting frustrated, they're going to move on to the next resume. So you want to make sure that you're using some kind of social media, 2 or 3 different platforms to network with other people in different fashions to get the word out there and learn that method of computer use because it'll be easier to teach you something else. Google Alerts can definitely help you, especially in job search. You can keep an eye on what's being said about you. Put your name into Google and have Google send you once a week emails. This is what's said, and these are all the news articles. And maybe you can keep an eye on companies that you would really like to work for, or you want to know what's going on in your industry. You can set up a Google alert for that. Or maybe people that are important to you, your relative, your child, your whatever it happens to be, somebody that you admire, you want to see, then you can do that as well, right? Make sure you're using your name consistently across all platforms so that you are not mistaken by somebody that would like to make a connection or somebody that is looking you up. It is the same. Learn how to use Boolean search terms and what would be best for them, because that's what a recruiter uses, and it's always good to have that information. Knowledge is power. You need to clean up your social media. Definitely make your accounts private. Delete any inappropriate pictures. Seems pretty common sense, but go back in time and delete things. If it wasn't appropriate to maybe share with grandma, it might not be appropriate to put on any social media platform. Keep that in mind as you're thinking, maybe I should put this picture on, maybe not. Maybe I should put this post on, maybe not, right? Deactivate old accounts so it doesn't even come up, right? Make sure you're adding the right pictures. Make sure you've given permission to be tagged in a picture or not tagged. Make sure that people are taking your name off of any tags if that's appropriate for that picture, right? So keep in mind all the things that you do could have some kind of effect on where you're going in your job search. So now that you know all these things that we talked about, what's your goal? What are you going to do? What's the first thing, the second thing that you're going to do to keep yourself safe using cybersecurity? What's your strategic goal? Some of the resources that I used to bring you this video include LinkedIn, My Networking Central, Career Sherpa, Job Hunt, The Muse, all of these things and more. Career counselors are always giving wonderful free advice on LinkedIn. So check them out to learn a little bit more about the different parts of job search and how you can keep yourself safe during that process. All right, everyone, thank you so much. It was great seeing you, and hopefully you will land very soon. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.